Hi children! Today is Friday and it's the 15th of January, and today we're going to be thinking about favourite toys that our grandparents used to play with. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at my whiteboard now. Let's have a look at the whiteboard, and on the whiteboard I've written down some learning objectives for this afternoon. So we thought it would be really fun for you to find out about toys that members of your family used to play with. So maybe, I know it's not easy to see grandparents at the moment during COVID, but maybe you could phone them, maybe you could give them a Zoom call and ask them about what their favourite toys were and what they used to like to play with, because we've spent all week thinking about our favourite toys. And it would be really interesting to find out if they like to play with the same sorts of toys as us and how they are the same and how they are different. So today, our learning objective is going to be to find out about toys from the past. To find out about the past from discussions and photos, so from your conversations and pictures that you might see, and to think about how the old and new toys are the same and different. Now we're going to do lots more work on this in the next couple of weeks, so we're just going to touch on it a little bit this afternoon, just to give you some ideas ready for your conversations. Okay, so I decided that I was going to Zoom call my mum. Okay, so my mum was a little girl in 1950. So you can work out that she's 70 now, she's actually 71. Okay, and so I asked her, I said, Mum, what were your favourite toys when you were a little girl? Because obviously 1950 was a long time ago. And my mum said that she used to like to play with her doll. So I went onto the computer and I had a look and I found a picture of an old doll. So that's a good word for us, old, isn't it? Because this doll is from the past. Okay, it's a doll that we used to play with. And my mum said that she liked to practice dressing and undressing the doll. So I can see here actually in the picture there's lots of clothes that the doll might like to wear. And I can also see a nappy as well and a bonnet for her head. Now I know that she used to have joints so she could move, Mum was able to move her arms and legs at the top. Okay, so by her shoulder and by her thigh down there she could move the joints of the doll to move the doll's arms and legs. Okay, and the doll was made of plastic, but it was quite hard, so probably a bit different to the softer plastic that we see on the new doll just here. Now some of you might recognise this doll or even have a doll like this. And I've put at the top of this picture, new doll. Okay, so I've got two words here that are very interesting, old and new. So actually there's some things that are very, very similar, some things that are the same, because this doll, the modern doll, the new doll, has clothes as well that she can wear that can be taken on and off her. I bet though this doll might be able to make some noises. She might be able to make sounds which the old doll couldn't do. I asked Mum, I said, did your doll make sounds or noises? Could she talk or cry? And Mum said, no, she couldn't. Mum said that the old doll could do a wee if she turned her upside down. But this doll, I bet, can do that as well, and she might even be able to cry. I bet you can feed her as well with a bottle, feed him or her with a bottle. So that was the doll that my mum used to play with. So I also asked Mum, I said, did you have any other favourite toys when you were a little girl? And she said that she used to love to play with her roller skates. So at the top here of my picture, which I think you can see really clearly on the board, on the picture here I've written roller skates from the past, so from a long time ago. So these are the sorts of skates that my mum would have used, and they're very different to a modern pair of roller skates that we would buy today in the shops. So I bet you can have a little look and see how they are different. So first thing that I noticed was that there was no brake. So here there's a brake that helps you to stop when you want to stop your skating, but on these skates I can't see a break at all. I noticed that these skates weren't like a boot shape. So I think these skates had to be strapped. You had to wear your shoes and put your shoes into the skate. And then there was a screw at the bottom that you could screw to adjust to make sure that your feet were fitting into the skate properly before you went skating down the road. Both the skates have got 4 wheels. So that is how they are similar, but look at the difference as well. These are really bright and colourful, aren't they? You can see lots of plastic parts. So your feet would be nice and secure in these, and they're very bright and colourful. And I bet there's lots of different colours and designs that you can choose from in the shops. I bet it wasn't the case then in 1950. So Mum said that she used to have to strap them onto her feet and off she would. Strap them onto her shoes and off she would go. So those skates look very different, don't they, then and now. And then the last thing that Mum said she liked to play with was a hula hoop. Now, this is something I bet that some of you have got at home as well. So I had a little look on the computer and I found some pictures of hula hoops from the past that were advertising for you to buy them. And of course hula hoops are really the same. Perhaps they might be available in more colours now. Maybe they might do clever things like make sounds, or they might flash. But they're really very, very similar. Okay, and I think we play with them in just the same way that Mum did in 1950. So your job this afternoon, children, is to go and find out, what did your grandparents like to play with? Or maybe a family friend. Ask your parents, or even ask Mum